go ahead and mute, and then remember to unmute if you have something to share during the meeting.
Welcome. My name is Laura Gabbard. I will be up here this morning, and I want to remind you all to turn off your phone or put it on airplane mode. Help our Zoom folks. We're going to start this morning with our first song, song number 287 in Worship and Song, God Who is Father, Mother. So I was trying to think of a centering thought for this morning, and I couldn't get past the fact that last Wednesday was Earth Day. And Earth Day always makes me think of when our children were young. They used to say, and I don't know if they still do, that what you should do on Earth Day is plant a tree because it's good for the earth. So when our boys were young in elementary school, their school would send a free tree sapling with each third grader. So every time we had a boy in third grade, we would get a free tree sent home. So over the years, we acquired 3 trees that way. And of course, raising 3 boys and all of their friends in the yard playing and everything. Only one has survived. But it is a tall, healthy pine tree in our backyard, and it is full of birds in the morning when I drink my coffee out on the patio. So that is a blessing. But really, for me, when I think of Earth Day, I think this means it's time for me to get out and work in my yard because I need to get it ready to plant the garden in May. And the flower bed hasn't been tended for months, since last fall, so I need to get out there. So this week I went out and I pruned my rose bush, and I started noticing all the things that are coming up. My irises are in bloom, my rose bushes have new growth, my peonies are coming up, my milkweed is coming up, and other daisies are coming up, all kinds of things. And it's just such a miracle to me because just a month ago, everything was brown and dead looking. And the fact that there can be new growth out of what I thought was death, or you would think was death, is just really, I think there's a message there. I just really like that. But it was in that frame of mind that I found this passage by Henry Wadsworth Longfellow that he wrote in 1849, and I think it says it all. Ah, how wonderful is the advent of spring, the great annual miracle, which no force can stay, no violence restrain, like love that wins its way and cannot be withstood by any human power, because itself is divine power. If spring came but once in a century instead of once a year, or burst forth with the sound of an earthquake and not in silence, what wonder and expectation would there be in all hearts to behold the miraculous change? We are like children who are astonished and delighted only by the second hand of the clock, not by the hour hand. All right, it is time for our announcements. Let's start with the people on Zoom. Are there any Zoom announcements? I don't hear any Zoom announcements. Are there any announcements here in the meeting room?
Hi, this is Pam Smith. Someone lent Bill this book on Irvington, and he's not here today. Was it anybody who's here today? Okay, we'll try another Sunday.
This is Joanne Gulley, and just a reminder that we're having our spring hike this Saturday, 10 o'clock at our house. Ask that you bring a dessert or a side to share. There will be sandwich things and provided. If you don't feel up to hiking, that is fine. We have furniture. You can stay. You can stay at our house. You can sit in our house. You can sit on the porch. You can sit in the screen house. You can bring your own chair. Whatever you want to do, but don't feel limited by the fact you think I can't go hiking. Well, just come be with us. It will be fun. And 10 o'clock at our house, and we're going to go hiking over in Blanton Woods. So the more the merrier. Hope you can make it.
We are asking anyone who comes to bring a paintbrush. We have little things that need done around the house, just little things. Many hands make light work, so a paintbrush if you have one.
Not right.
Hi, this is Sue Walton, and on behalf of Outreach, what our needs are. We've sort of done a little inventory, and we need personal items like dish soap, laundry detergent. These things are just not covered by things. Also, when you bring an item like spaghetti, like tuna fish, like stuffing, please check the expiration date. Scott and I threw out 6 boxes of pancake mix that expired last fall this morning. So please do look at the expiration date when before you bring something, because we cannot give that away. Okay. to this. Thank you.
I'm Bill Hoops. I've asked you to keep me in the light. 2 weeks from now, on May 9th, I'll be starting a fundraising and awareness walk on the Cardinal Rails to Trails path from Muncie to Richmond, raising awareness of LARSH, which is an organization that provides residential communities for folks with intellectual and physical disabilities in North Carolina, and also the Jerusalem Youth Choir, which brings together Palestinian and Israeli kids, Christians, Muslims, and Jews on the common language of music. They get to know each other, share their stories, and envision a future that they want to create, a future. So if you would keep me in your prayers, I appreciate it. Or donations, for that matter.
Hi, I'm Sarah Lookaville, and I hope you've seen these flyers around. But even if you haven't, you can't miss our table out in the gathering area. We're taking orders for the T-shirts for Bicentennial, and of course we hope everybody buys one so that we can have our big group picture taken. But also next year on the spring hike, you can all wear your T-shirts, and everybody will know where you're from. There's going to be lots of occasions to wear our T-shirts. So May 3rd, which is next Sunday, is the last day to order. So if you know somebody that has been a regular attender but for some reason is unable to come right now and you want to just give them a heads up about the T-shirts, that would be great. Thank you.
If there are no other joys and concerns, I think Joanne has a children's moment.
For me, like a borrowed mule. Do we have any small?
Better you than me.
Oh, we read the story too fast. Do I have Charlotte? It's up too high. Want to go listen to a story? One of our little guys, who I think happens to be, no, he's awake right now. Augie has a first birthday today. So, yeah, Augie is a year old today, but he's back there in his car seat. Yeah, so, okay. Okay, Griffin. I'm going to read you one of my favorite authors. This is Todd Parr. And you can always tell a Todd Parr book by the colors and the drawings. I think I could even draw those illustrations. And this is The Peace Book. Peace is making new friends. Peace is keeping the water blue for all the fish. Peace is listening to different kinds of music. Peace is saying you're sorry when you hurt someone. Peace is helping your neighbor. They've got paint brushes. Yeah, I think Phil put that page in. Peace is reading all different kinds of books. Peace is thinking about someone you love. He's thinking of his dog, and his doggy's thinking of him. Peace is giving shoes to someone who needs them. Peace is planting a tree. Peace is sharing a meal. Peace is wearing different clothes. And peace is watching it snow. Peace is keeping the streets clean. And peace is offering a hug to a friend. Peace is everyone having a home. Peace is growing a garden. That speaks to a lot of us right now. And peace is taking a nap. Peace is learning a different language. And peace is having enough pizza in the world for everyone. Peace is keeping someone warm. And peace is new babies being born. Peace is being free. Peace is traveling to different places. And peace is wishing on a star. Peace is being who you are. Peace is being different, feeling good about yourself, and helping others. The world is a better place because of you. Love, Todd. Yeah.
Well, I got a text back last night from our friends who were on the Peace Church tour. A dozen Quakers scattered throughout northern Indiana, and they had supper at an Amish house last night and are reporting that all is well in their world, and that if everyone could eat supper at an Amish house, there would be peace in this world. Well, I drove down to the farm last Monday to mow and had to stop at Walmart to buy groceries. There was a woman in there with a little boy who looked to be about 3 years old. I'm judging him by his size and comparing him with my 3-year-old grandson. Not quite ready for preschool yet, kind of that age right there. And the boy, like most children of that age, was very active. And the mother was so gentle, trying her best to keep him contained without yelling or screaming. We were in the pickle aisle. Now, just to be clear, I wasn't looking for pickles myself, pickles being vegetables. I was taking a shortcut through the pickle aisle to get to the ice cream. But this little boy spied a glass jar of dill pickles and picked it up to ask his mom if he could have it. But the jar was heavy, his hands were little, and the jar fell to the floor where it shattered, scattering pickles everywhere. It was a pickle holocaust. And the little boy started crying, just wailing away. And the mother handled it so well. She explained to him that he needed to be more careful, no yelling, no throwing a fit at the boy, just taking the opportunity to teach him a lesson. And when an employee came to clean it up, she had the little boy help clean up the mess he had made. That's good parenting. That's good parenting. But even though the best parents have these little thoughts that we don't say out loud, but we think them so hard, other people can sometimes hear them. And when I walked by the mother, I heard her think. I swear I could hear her think. This is the reason we can't have nice things. We've been talking these past several weeks about war, which we're continuing today with this observation. War is the reason we can't have nice things. Since our founding, the United States of America has spent a little more than $7 trillion preparing for war, waging war, and paying for past wars. $7 trillion. That's a 7 followed by 12 zeros, which means that for the past 250 years, we've spent $77 million a day on war, which means war is the reason we can't have nice things. Let me share with you an infallible financial principle. We can bank on this. This ranks right up there with Larry Cordray's credo about financial management. That when he had money, he spent it. That when he didn't, he didn't. An infallible financial principle. We can bank on this. When we say yes to certain things, we are simultaneously saying no to other better things. Saying yes to endless war, the preparation for it and the paying of it, requires us to say no to other and better things. A yes to war is a no to universal health care. There are 71 nations around the world with universal health care, including Pakistan and Rwanda. But since we have said yes to war, we have simultaneously said no to universal health care. No universal health care for our sickest infants. No universal health care for our poorest brothers and sisters. No universal health care for the homeless. No universal health care for the unemployed and underemployed. All because we have said yes to war. Saying yes to war has caused us to say no to universal education. Egypt, Malaysia, Kenya, and 19 other nations offer free college tuition to all their citizens. We didn't only say no to universal education. Last year we made $120 billion on the backs of college students desperate for an education and the opportunities it provides. No matter their circumstances, we refuse to let them discharge that unconscionable debt in bankruptcy, charging them up to 3 times the amount of their loan. The average college loan now takes 20 years to repay, just as they become the signatories on their own children's college loans. All because we have said yes to war. Saying yes to war has caused us to say no to our local and national infrastructure. We drive on roads that aren't maintained. We use 42,400 bridges that have been deemed unsafe. We power our homes on electrical grids at risk of failure, participate in a financial system that is ever more fragile, designed to protect the rich and neglect the poor. We generate waste we cannot safely discard. We increase our carbon output, jeopardizing our global climate. We pollute our streams, lakes, and oceans, and empty our aquifers faster than they can be replenished. Saying yes to war has caused us to say no to maintaining our infrastructure. War is why we can't have nice things. Saying yes to war has caused us to say no to the programs that nourish hungry kids. New federal laws will slash benefits and narrow eligibility for millions of Americans in the coming years. More children will suffer malnutrition, some of whom will get sick and die, who might otherwise have lived. Many more will go to bed with empty, cramping stomachs because we lack the collective will to demand a just and equitable tax system that appropriately taxes corporate and personal wealth and not just income. All because we have said yes to war. Finally, saying yes to war has caused us to say no to democracy. It has placed upon the poorest and most desperate among us the responsibility of our national defense. Those for whom college or vocational training is an unreachable dream. When our son Sam returned from basic training, he said what surprised him most was how many of his fellow soldiers came from impoverished families. And when we visited him at Fort Sill, I noticed it seemed that every other building was a dentist's office. I said, why are there so many dentist's offices here? And he said, it's because the average recruit had never been to the dentist. As long as we say yes to war, we will say no to the leveling field of democracy. Having having a son join the military is something Joanne and I, being pacifists, never anticipated, but you roll with life. And when Sam was a medic in Georgia, he was asked to go to Kentucky for a week to provide medical care for an infantry unit. And when he was there, at the end of the day, he'd become friends with the soldiers, and they asked him if he wanted to fire a howitzer. And being 19 years old at the time, he said, sure. And so at the end of the day, they let him fire 4 shots. And when he was done, one of them chuckled and said, that was $100,000 a pop. And Sam thought to himself, in all the years my mom worked as a school librarian, she didn't earn half of that. War is why we can't have nice things. Thus did Joshua command the fledgling Hebrew nation, choose this day who and what you serve. Decide this day what deserves our yes and what deserves our no. Well, friends, let us stand and sing our closing hymn, number 246. And while we're doing that, we'll gather food. John, and do we have anyone else who can help with that? There we go. There we go. Hymn number 246. I've got peace like a river.
I've got one.
nice lady in this town who used to come here to meeting. Her name was Vivian Hayes. She's no longer with us. But she and her husband owned the Hayes shoe store in Plainfield, where my mother would take me when I was a child to buy Red Goose shoes. And I wrote a story about it in one of my books, and Vivian Hayes read it. And she brought me the Red Goose from their store, which became my treasure. I put it on the mantle at our home. Our boys were young. I gave them careful instructions. Do not touch the Red Goose. And so it survived through our son's childhood. And then we had grandchildren. And one day I was upstairs and I heard a crash. And my son Spencer came upstairs and he said, "Dad, we have a problem." I said, "What's the problem?" He said, "Madeline picked up the goose and dropped it, and it broke." And I said, "That's okay." And he said, "You would have killed us." I said, "You are not my grandchild." Treat everybody like they're your grandkids. Find in your hearts the capacity for love and forgiveness. Remember, in the end, it's just plaster and pickles. That's all it is. So find a way to tell the difference between what we need to say yes to and what we need to say no to. That's it. Turn and greet your friends.